This video brought to you in part by these fantastic sponsors. Greetings, Masters. The bodacious, buxom Berserker is back, and the massive assets that she brings to the table will stagger even the strongest Master. 13,500 HP and 11,556 attack at level 90 puts this monstrous mountain of mammaries at 4th place amongst Berserkers for both stats. Her 2 Buster, 2 Arts, 1 Quick deck is actually an anomaly when it comes to Berserkers, only being shared by one other, and that is Nightingale. So, while she's not busting all of the time, she can still pull off a Buster Brave Chain with her Noble Phantasm. 3 hits on the Quick, 4 on the Arts, and 1 on the Buster means that while her NP gain of 0.46 on attack is not amazing, an Arts Quick Arts Chain will net her around 42% NP. A star rate of 4.9 is going to net her 11 to 17 stars on a Buster crit chain, but only having 1 quick card is going to be a little detrimental to creating stars. However, her NP is going to help with that. Traits of note here are Divine, Riding, and Sky or Earth Servant. But speaking of stars, her first skill, Eternal Arms Mastery A+, will help out with the typical Berserker star weight of garbage. Raikou has a star weight of 9, which is pretty brutal. This skill will up her star gather rate by 3k to 6k for 3 turns, meaning that if you can generate stars, she will put them to good use. Mama Buster Lightning A is your steroid with survival attached, which almost always ends up just being a Buster buff instead of an evade. This will increase Buster card effectiveness by 20 to 30% and also apply a 1-turn evade. You may want to consider using this as a dodge. You may want to use this to dodge an NP or damage, but you're just going to use this prior to her NP every time, pretty much every single time. Mystic Slayer A applies special attack Demonic and special attack Sky or Earth Servant for 3 turns. This can go from 30 to 50%, and if you are up against someone like Ibaraki, this will double dip and let you just absolutely flex on them. Her Noble Phantasm, Ox King Stormcall, the inescapable net of heaven, is an AoE Buster Noble Phantasm that increases critical star generation on overcharge from 100 to 300%. This does actually activate first, so she will generate a massive pile of stars on her NP for her to scoop up with that first skill and use on the following turn. Her passives are Magic Resistance D. Of course it would be the D, am I right? Increasing debuff resist by 12.5%. Madness Enhancement EX, and I've seen the dojins, and I know that madness is definitely EX. This is going to increase her Buster effectiveness by 12%. Riding A+, and you might think, but she's a Berserker, why would she have Riding A+? Well, see above. This is going to increase that quick card effectiveness by 11%, as well as Divinity C, adding another 150 damage on top of the pile that she's already dropping on enemies' heads. When it comes to skills and Ascension, though, welcome to the Bone Zone. 5 claws, 29 bones, 9 blood, 5 scales for her Ascension materials, and 34 bones, 9 claws, 24 crystals, and 10 spirit roots per skill. It's a little bit of a tall order. When leveling skills, I would focus on her 2nd and 3rd skills first, leaving Star Gather last, unless you don't plan on fighting any Sky and Earth Servants or Demonic Servants, and then you can go for the 3rd or the 1st skill as you see fit. When it comes to craft essences, she makes great use of Golden Sumo as well as Victor of the Moon and Joint Recital. If you are looking for just Buster damage, you can do Limited 0 over, but with her 2 Buster deck, this might not be as optimal over a Berserker with, say, 3 Buster cards. First Sunrise is great if you are looking to start out with a bit of NP bar as well as increase her Buster damage. And even her Bond 10 CE, which gives everyone on the field 10% Buster effectiveness and 15% critical damage, is fantastic. Speaking of critical damage though, slapping Talk on the Hot Sands on her will help even more with Stargather as well as crit damage. It may seem counterproductive to add Stargather on when she already has it, but this will help during the turns that her first skills are down, as well as being one of the better crit damage craft essences with no detriment. So who do you team her up with? Teaming her up with people like Hans and Helena to drop critical stars is fantastic, along with Helena's ability to increase NP gauge as well as card effectiveness. Hans, on the other hand, does have that critical damage that Raikou is lacking. Caster Gilgamesh can also be used as a star generator as well as increase Raikou's 2 arts cards to help a little bit with that NP gain. Additionally, Fuma can not only provide stars but can also provide a targetable evade to help keep Raikou around. Oh, and then, well, there's always Merlin. Overall, Raikou is not only a fantastic farmer, but an amazing boss killer. She has a killer kit providing her with massive damage Stargather and specific damage stacking. She does suffer a little bit from only having a single defensive skill, which is tied to her Buster Steroid, which means a lot of times you are going to have to make the hard decision of do more damage or get a single turn evasion. Additionally, she is a Berserker, so if she is focused, she is going to be dropping really fast. While most AoE characters lack in single target damage thanks to Raikou's multiple damage modifiers, she is no slouch when it comes to single targets as well. Add in her Berserker class advantage and she can dish out competitive single target damage. Popping her NP right before a boss wave is a great way to generate a ton of stars for her to soak up the following turn and put her first skill to use. However, without having a crit damage buff, sometimes this can fall a little flat. Plus, you are relying on the RNG of what cards come up next. This can be overcome by building a team around her, and if you build the right team with her at the helm, she has some massive potential to be a huge asset to your team. So overall, I have had Raikou for a year and I use her quite often for farming, especially in events due to the amount of damage that she has and can put out. If you have NP1 Raikou, it would be beneficial to get yourself NP2 as you will see a jump in damage output. But there you have it, Masters. There is a bit of an overview on Raikou. If you are rolling, good luck to you. If you are going to pass, well, save for summer. Let me know in the comments if you are rolling, if you're not rolling, and why. And I will catch you on the next one. Take it easy, Masters. Peace.